So, I was recently invited by Peter over at Nidhogg Mead to go and actually have a go at making mead properly in a meadery. And if any of you guys have seen my old video where I make mead, you'll know that my attempt is semi-successful, but by no means the kind of stuff that you'd actually want to sell people. Peter invited me to go down, have a go, and very kindly has also sponsored this video. So this video is sponsored by Nidhogg Mead, and you'll find links and all kinds of things down in the description. And this video is basically how to do mead properly. Nidhogger is based in Pocklington, just outside the city of York, which makes it an ideal place to make Viking-inspired alcoholic beverages. So I hopped in my roller skate of a car, packed all of my filming kit into it, found the place, and within I found Peter. I found Peter inside the building. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Peter. This is his meadery. This is your mead.
This is my mead, yes.
Nidhogg Mead.
Nidhogg Mead, indeed.
Why is it called Nidhogg Mead?
It's called Nidhogg Mead because...
What is a Nidhogger and how do I get one?
Well, a Nidhogger is the serpent that gnaws at the roots of Yggdrasil and sends hate mail via squirrel called Ratatoska to the eagle up at the top. Yeah?
Everybody forgets about Ratatoska.
Everyone forgets Ratatoska. I don't know why. It's a hate mail carrying squirrel, so I don't know how you can forget it. But
it's on the bottle, actually.
Yeah,
now that you look at it, it does have it on the bottle.
It's the symbol for outlaws and rebels.
So, how long have you been here?
In this premises, we've been here since November last year.
So, a few months?
Yeah.
But you've been making mead for a lot longer than that?
Yes.
How long have you been making mead?
Oh, about 2.5, 3 years.
And when did your fiancée tell you couldn't make it in the kitchen anymore?
about 6 months ago.
About 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
So, this is where everything happens, right? This is literally where the honey arrives here, and then it gets made.
That's correct, yeah.
What's the actual process for making mead? Because when I made it, I took a load of honey, I put it in a saucepan, I threw yeast at it, and then I forgot about it for a couple of months.
Yeah, that kind of works.
That's it?
Yeah, basically.
That's literally it.
So making mead is really easy. Making good mead is really hard.
That's where I messed up.
So yeah, it's about using the right honey, it's about using the right water, it's about checking things like your pH, your acidity, getting your gravity, and getting all those sort of things right.
And I didn't do most of those things.
Yeah, well, most people don't, and then that's why it ends up like rocket fuel.
So you guys are like getting all of the ingredients, getting all the water, all of your stuff is Yorkshire based, right?
Yes,
like all of the flavourings and stuff.
The base ingredients are, we try and get most
when you can, obviously,
locally, but you know, lemons and limes.
Lemons and limes,
a little bit difficult.
So all of the honey is local then, I assume?
Yeah, it's all from East Bridlington.
That's close to here.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes.
A map will appear somewhere here, and you can see where that is. So walk me through the process of, just lightning walk me through the process of making mead then. So
okay, so the honey arrives in steel barrels. We buy it by literally the metric ton. So each barrel contains around 300 kilograms of honey.
It goes, ton of honey.
Yeah, it turns up and goes into our honey room, which is kept at between about 40 degrees, which is about the core hive of a beehive. That's the hot room,
place.
Yeah, where you put your face in. That's it.
Yeah.
And that makes the honey liquid. We then weigh that out, mix it with an industrial blender with some water from beneath the Pennines.
Amazing.
And then add the ingredients that we add, and then add some yeast, add a bit of yeast nutrient, stick an airlock on it, stick on a heat mat, and then let it ferment for about 10 weeks, and then we step nutriented it along the way to get it up to the right ABV.
Can we go make some?
Of course we can.
Let's go make some mead.
Let's go make some mead.
Peter's making this sound really simple, and as a basic process, it is, but there is a big difference between what I was making on my stovetop and what Peter and the gang make at Nidhogger. For a start, the volumes are huge. I mean, look at the size of this drum, and it weighed an absolute ton. I had a go at every stage of this, and I was struggling with some of it, not doing it confidently at all. But the way these guys are making this mead, it's clear that they've been passionate about it for a long time. They started as Peter's hobby. He was making it in his house, and now it is his business. He's won awards. He's very modest about those awards, but he has won the gold at the Mead Madness Cup, which is the biggest mead competition in Europe. Like, this stuff is really good quality mead. And I'm not just saying that because he's paying me. I'm saying that, and he's also paying me. The first stage is getting the honey liquid, and they do that in this amazing warm room. It's about 40 degrees in there. It's like standing on a steam engine. You take the barrel out, wrench it up, and eventually, if you've got a weak, spindly little Welshman doing it, it takes a lot longer. you pour out all of this amazing honey and weigh it out and put it into a barrel. The barrel then has water added to it, and it gets mixed with a basically giant hand mixer, which we nicknamed on that day Big Daddy, for obvious reasons. Once it's had a mixing, it gets more water put into it, it gets yeast put on top of it, and then some yeast nutrient to help the yeast get kick-started. Then that's all topped up with water again. And this whole process is like a production line in this little building. It's all getting done at the same time as somebody else is doing something else, and someone else is doing something in the office, and people are coming in, and marketing is happening, and phone calls are being done. After that, it's basically done for a while. You put the yeast and the honey and the water and the yeast nutrient into a bucket, you stick an airlock into it, you take the original gravity measurement, you bung it on a shelf on a heat mat, and it stays there for a couple of weeks. The next bit was the bit that I didn't do, and this I think is where the real difference in quality starts to come into this stuff. This is where the time is taken. So the next step that we were shown was filtering, and this filtering is a 3-stage process. Thinking about getting some coals in there, you know, a bit of water on
This is making the filter ready. So this is the first grade of pads. And this is 10 microns. So this just gets the bulk of the crap out basically.
It is. Do it, but make it sexy. It doesn't.
Work for me.
Don't lie to me.
You're a liar. I'm a tiger. Wow.
Well, Tiger champion. A sexy cat.
Are you ready, kids?
No. Yes.
That's all the stuff that we remove, that nastiness there, so that doesn't go into our final. Can one of these bins have a bin bag in, please? What the fuck are you doing over there?
Yes, it is. When filming, it is all about the cameraman. It's an art.
This setup is absolutely amazing. The place is full of mead. Everywhere you look, there's mead. And I mean there are hundreds and hundreds of litres of mead just everywhere in this place in stages of preparation. Some of it is ready to drink, some of it has only just started fermenting, some of it's halfway through, and it was just astonishing to be in a place that is so compact that has every single inch of space being used for producing and marketing and selling and doing mead. We couldn't have a load of reenactors in a shed full of mead and not have a sword fight, now could we? If you're not convinced by the humble beginnings yet, Peter started this filtering process in his house using a car fuel funnel and coffee filters. That's what this guy has built this up from.
You would get a bottle and that, and we'd have 6 on the table with these coffee filters in as the final filtration, like that, and then you'd get a jug and scoop it out and pour it into each one and then keep moving the funnels around. It was insane. So of course all of this was done in my house, because I'd sold the dining table and put workbenches in instead, which the missus wasn't too happy about. We now use these for the very end bit because stuff gets trapped in this, which is the filter block. So this is a final filtration after the 3 that we've done. So this is 10 microns in here, and this is just because obviously everybody has hair and bits and bobs and you don't want any of that in your mead. So we filter anything that may have got from the transport over here. So, find the end. So now we have a nice, beautiful, clear mead. What we're going to do. So all of this has got Milton's in it, so it's all got sterilisation fluid, all of these buckets do, to keep everything nice and sterile, and just to make sure that nothing else gets in there, you pop that there, and then you close your lid back up to make sure it's staying nice and tidy.
The next stage is the bottling process, and I found this fascinating because, yeah, I'll just let Peter explain it.
What we have is a couple of stations. So Mr. Kanowski over there is going to be ready to wipe. And then what will happen is we've got a sort of conveyor belt. So on goes the machine. Make sure you're nice and tight there. We'll form an airlock. And here we go. So the first bit that comes out is going to be any of the Miltons that's left in from where you've done your cleaning. So you just run your pipe for a moment. First one that comes out, you pop to one side. See how it's quite clear at the bottom. So this one goes to one side and we drink it. Just building up the pressure. So it's set so that it'll put exactly 70 cl in each bottle. So we cut off there. So I can just leave it there and it's just going to keep exactly the same amount. So that first one goes up there for us to drink. Now, here we go. We'll stop and go super fast.
Very lucky because there's car keys there.
Okay, so first mead we're going to try before satisfying pop is the traditional. So, all made using Yorkshire wildflower spring honey. We use 12 kilograms of honey in every 23 litres that we make. So, as you saw earlier when you were making it, 12 kilograms of honey. So, nothing else in that, as you've made it yourself, you know, apart from honey, water and yeast. Really nice, rich honey flavour, really deep, and gives you that nice lingering sweetness.
That's really nice.
But it's not too sickly sweet because we don't put sugar or fermentables or anything in there. So because we don't put that in there, it's not like drinking a litre of Coke. It is natural sugars and therefore natural sweetness. And you can literally drink this by the bottle. I can attest. And you definitely can.
We don't recommend excessive alcohol consumption on the channel.
That's a lie.
Normally.
That's a lie.
I mean,
That's really nice. Oh my god. It's so nice. It's not overpoweringly sweet at all.
no.
It's delicious. It doesn't smell sweet, it just smells... It smells like mead.
It smells like mead. Yeah.
Funnily
It's
enough.
funny that, isn't it? Yeah.
A nice boozy tingle though. Like
A nice boozy tingle.
there.
Yeah, well, that's it. So all of our meads are high strength. The one that we're just drinking from now is 17%. So nice and strong. So, you know, it gives you a nice boozy feel as well. So, next one. Our award-winning elderflower. So this one has just won gold at Europe's largest mead competition. It just won gold in the herbal and spice category of a sweet methyl-glyn, which is a herbal and spice.
Good for you. Herbs.
Herbs, all herbs.
Always good for you.
Yeah. So once again, exactly the same process. Fresh elderflower, bit of lemon juice, all added at the beginning of fermentation. So at the end, we don't have to add anything, so we don't reduce that ABV.
So does that go in after I've mixed it with Big Daddy?
So it all goes in when you mix it with Big Daddy.
And that lemon juice goes in?
Yeah, everything goes
All
in.
the other flour goes in,
Yep.
and it sits with all of that in on the
Yep,
shelf?
and that's it. So we break it all down. So we take the elderflower, we take the lemon juice, we break it down into a cordial. Because if you've ever tried to count individual elderflowers,
It's not a hobby that I
no,
do
exactly.
very often.
Most people don't.
It's not.
And I've got enough work to do without having to sit there and count elderflowers. So yeah, we break it down, and then we add that. And obviously it's a lot easier then for racking and filtering purposes.
Cool.
So,
I understand.
Do you like
this
that
is
one?
award-winning.
This is good?
This is the
Really
nicest
nice.
thing that I've put in my mouth for a long time.
good.
Apart from that.
And I've put some nice things in my mouth.
This next one. Oh, is our new one.
It's pink.
It is pink.
It's pink.
It's pink. Brand spanking new flavour.
Although you say it yourself. This is very good.
If I do say so myself. Unfortunately, we didn't get to enter this one into a competition because it literally stopped fermenting about a week ago. So we released it last weekend. I love this one. I think this is fantastic. This over ice on a hot day is brilliant.
It's like asking to be used as part of a cocktail or something.
Or
It is. It is.
over ice cream.
Ooh, ice
That'd
cream.
be pretty good.
Joseph.
Oh. Funny
Please, children, watch this channel.
Funny you should say cocktails. On the back of each of the bottles, there's a QR code here, and this QR code will take you to our cocktail menu. We're updating this at the moment. There's only about 3 or 4 on there currently. But we are, in a couple of weeks, doing a massive photo shoot and a whole day with some professional mixologists, coming up with some more cocktails and creating some new, fun, interesting stuff.
Mixology coming from the Greek, of course. Logos to talk or converse, and mixos to get hammered.
I thought you were going to come up with something really intelligent there.
Nope.
No, it just turned into a booze joke.
Most things do.
That's it. So this
Welcome
one here,
to the Welsh Viking.
lemon. Welcome to the Welsh Viking. This one here, lemon and lime.
Thank you.
So we are the only meadery to produce lemon and lime mead. I'm a massive fan of citrus. That's why we made it. It's not really a long story. So it makes an amazing lemon drizzle cake.
Oh,
Yeah. So you get the nice citrus blast, followed by that honey in the back end. Goes really, really well with rum. We do a cocktail called Loki's Bane. So it's dark rum, spice rum, topped up with this and muddled with some mint. We call it Loki's Bane because after a couple you think you're a shapeshifter, or you get fucked by a horse.
You heard it here first. Is that on the box? Oh yeah, there was a warning label just there.
Yeah, right there. It does say
Mixing.
excess consumption may result in horse.
Oh yes, makes you sexually irresistible to stallions. I see.
That's it. And finally, love it every time,
Good noise.
is the ginger. So this is ginger with a little bit of capsicum in there. So it'll give you the same warming feeling on the way down as a whiskey or a brandy. Really good for the sort of the end of the night by the fire. Last sort of nightcap before bed, warm you back up. Goes really well in hot chocolate. And the thing with all of our meads is when, obviously this all started as a hobby for me, so I made them for myself. And we were or I was fed up of buying mead that didn't taste like what it said on the bottle.
Yeah.
So you buy a bottle of cherry mead or whatever, and it didn't taste like cherries, but it didn't taste like mead. So I was a bit like, well, what's the point? So when I started making it for myself, I was like, well, if I want to drink elderflower mead, I want it to taste like elderflowers. So I made it taste like elderflowers. As you might imagine. So, you know, all of our flavours are very flavour forward, but do obviously contain that really nice honey back end to them, because, you know, there's just under about half a kilo of honey in every bottle. So huge amounts of honey.
They do all taste like mead.
Good.
They all
I'm
taste
glad.
like mead. I know what you mean, because some meads don't taste light, like
yeah.
they just taste like sugar. We're not mentioning any names.
Yeah, we're not mentioning any names.
That one out.
But some of them just taste like sugar because they obviously put loads of sugar in it.
Yeah, and that's just a thing that I've never understood, because, you know, I've sat around campfires and I've drank lots of all the different types of mead, and I enjoy them, don't get me wrong, I enjoy lots of different types of mead, and each mead has its own purpose, but it's, you sit there and you have a few glasses and then you want to pass it round the fire, and I think the best thing for us is when people come to our stall and they're like, this is the stuff we don't pass around the fire. You know, this is the stuff we drink. This is ours. We're not sharing this. This is for us, which is great, because then everybody around the fire comes and buys a bottle. Exactly. You know, it works out quite well.
Perfect. Shifty units. Love it.
So yeah, there are 5 flavours at the moment. We've got a new flavour coming out towards the end of the year, which is an apple and rhubarb. Oh, don't worry, you'll get a bottle to take home with you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, wherever Bardwell's gone.
I don't know, he's just wandered off.
for handing me the big mixy thing. And where can we get some of your mead?
So on our website, so nidhoggremead.co.uk.
Link in the description.
And then you can find us in loads of different stores with the exclusive supply to the Yorkshire Centre.
Amazing.
A load of other places around York and around the UK.
And you travel to shows as well.
And we travel to 2 different shows
Brilliant.
every weekend. Follow us on Facebook, and we post show lists and where we are at the weekends. And everybody's welcome to come and do free samples all the time.
Free.
And we don't remember people's faces, so you can drink as much as you want.
Amazing. Peter, you are a gentleman.
Thanks so much.
If anybody asks.
Of course, if anybody asks. But no, it's been great seeing you, Jimmy. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
No worries.
Brilliant.
Kill the bottler.
Kill it! Slaughter it. All right.